Okay, so we will pick up from our last Snowman build. We finished modeling the arm, so we will append that file and we can get started on this one. So first things first is we need to add a subsurface scattering effect on the actual snow. It's kind of hard to tell at this point right here because we are in preview mode, but I'm going to switch to EV mode real quick right here. And we're going to go select one of our model that would have the subsurface scattering effect that we need, which is basically any part of the snowman. There it is, the snow base material right there. And we're just going to simply give it a subsurface effect right here. And then I'm going to go at least a 0.3 right here. It gives it that kind of, and I put like a subsurface color of blue right there to kind of give it a kind of cooler bluish tint that might complement our lighting later on. Okay, so this is a multi-part series, and the videos are done separately, like the carrot, the top hat, the body itself, and then the arms. Okay, so we're gonna append those objects now into the scene and then get this thing kind of completed. So I'm gonna go here and I'm gonna switch to a higher performance screen here, at least for my computer. Change EV to workbench. When working in workbench, you can see it's fairly smooth, and you can also see where your object might be needing to get smoothed out, like over here on some of the files. But it's quite all right at this point because you can't really see those once the material and lighting is in there. All right, so I'm going to go to the front viewport here, numpad 1. I'm going to go File and Append. I'm going to be appending the ARM model. So let me just go here and find that one. I should say, I think I put it on the desktop. Let's see. Carrot, Snow, downloads. I'm going to go to a vertical list right here. There you go, Snowman Arm Blend. Hit append, and then I'm going to go to the object. Okay, and all the cylinders, actually, I didn't name them, so want all these cylinders and append them, and of course they're going to be massive relative to the size, so I'm going to just simply grab and scale this down till I'm happy with this. All right, so we got one right there. It's probably the size I want. I'm gonna go like so on that one, and then I'm going to just duplicate this, and I'm going to rotate it like so. Rotate that. Okay, maybe do some editing on this one a little bit. Just I'm on X-ray mode. Excellent. So I want to, let's say, select all the points on this and then press number 1 or press that button right there, or vertex or point. I'm going to rotate that just a bit so I can get a little bit of a different angle for this one. And since it's all UV already, control minus to lessen my selection right there. Okay, and go back to this selection here and maybe position it like that over there. Okay, and let's see from here, it looks like it has this kind of weird angle for it, so let's fix that. I'm going to go to the top and simply I'm just going to rotate this like so, so that kind of getting an elbow effect right there. Okay, select the whole thing together here and then just kind of move that a little bit over there. Okay, and I'll do the same thing for this hand right here. Select the whole thing here, simply kind of rotate it. All right, and those hands right here, those fingers, just simply rotate them, RZ, RZ. Okay, get close to it and just kind of go to that side, rotate it here, just so that it's not too stiff on this side right here. All right. And well, it's supposed to be kind of wooden and whatnot, so if this thing, let's fix it some more, rotate it a little bit, and then kind of angle it, I guess, properly right there. I mean, there's other things too that you can do. You can wrap a kind of like a string to this, kind of make it a little look more kind of natural. Okay, so there's that. We appended the hand, and we got our snowman kind of completed with the limbs right here. We just need the eyes and the mouth and some scarf going on. So we're going to keep modeling away. All right, so I'm going to go to the front here. I did put an indent on this head right here, so I'm going to shift D to duplicate this. So you can see there's kind of like an eyeball going on where we put the mouth, I mean the nose right for the carrot. So we could use this one as our base for the eye, right? So let me switch to Eevee real quick and make sure we're in viewport mode. And oh, I forgot. When I did append this, I didn't bring the texture rhythm. So let's just kind of fix this real quick. So I'm going to go to shader right here. Okay, go to shading. And everything is kind of set. You know, we're just kind of missing those. We're not actually missing them. We're 3N002, and we got multiple of these. So the bark right here is definitely what's missing in the 3N right there. So the bark 002. Let me see if I have those downloaded. Bark 002, probably not. So I'm gonna go to CC0 real quick and download those while we're working on the other parts. So, and also this is a plug for CC0 textures.com, and this is where we find all our public domain or free to use high quality textures that with multi-channels. Okay, so the one we're looking for specifically that I use on another computer is Bark 002. So, and I'm just using the 2K because it's faster for me to kind of do the demo. Okay, but you probably would want to kind of grab a different texture, you know, whatever it is you can grab. Bark 11. There you go, Bark 002. This is the one that I got. So I'm going to just download the 2K JPEG. You know, it'll do the job for what we need. Especially this is kind of like a scene. We're never going to get this close to the actual snowman, and just focusing just on those limbs. All right, so that's the one right there, and I'm using another one for the ends right here. This is the 3N 002. Okay, so let me go back here. Let's see, 3N. Okay, and I think it's this one. That's 003. Let me go here, and I'm just gonna use this one. All right, so while those are downloading, then I can update this later on. So while we're at it here, I'm gonna go back here. Okay, so let's go to the eye right here. It says here snow base. I want to just make a new material for this, because if I make changes to this, this is all linked together. If I make any changes to this, the whole thing kind of changes. You see it? All right, so in order to do that, I want to keep all the other stuff minus the subsurface. So if you click this button right here, it says new material. When you click that, and what's going to happen is that when I change the color now, it's independent. You see it? Okay, so all I have to do is make that pure black, get rid of subsurface color. Okay, and most likely probably keep everything here, making it the coal and whatnot. So I'm okay with that right there. Okay, we're gonna call this one coal. All right, so we know that's the one we're using for coal, and then it'll be available right here as a quick selection whenever we make a new material we want to change it to that. So it keeps all this kind of a noise look and whatnot. All right, so I'm going to go to the top, numpad 7, and then I'm going to scale this one along the y-axis to kind of make it flat, kind of like so. All right, so I'm going to go to the front. I'm going to go back to my selection right here. And to kind of make this easier and faster, I'm going to go here to solid mode and then just kind of scale this one. And it's not scaling at the center right there because it got moved around. So let's move the pivot point center to the object. So I'm going to go here, object, set origin to geometry. So it just goes in there, and we can then scale this, rotate it even, and then we're going to position it right there. Okay, so I'm going to look at the left, right side. So Control R, bring that over. Okay, as you can see here, I have an angle I can work with. Okay, right there, and an angle at the top also. So I'm going to go RZ, R and Z axis, and then I can just kind of pivot it like so. There it is. I'm going to go number 1 right here. Maybe shrink that some more and bring it closer to the nose right there. Okay, and let's take a look here in preview. Okay, that's not bad. All right, and then what I'll do is maybe drop it here a little bit and then move it out a little bit so that will be G and Y. All right, you want to make sure it's not floating in the air. Okay, I'm going to duplicate this and then just kind of move it here, do a different rotation because it has the same kind of orientation from the top. If I go here on wireframe mode, you see it, because that's an equivalent right there. So I'll rotate it like so, so I get that angle or the curvature of the head. Okay, now let's take a look here to the front and kind of rotate it a bit because you don't want this looking the same, and maybe even make this smaller or bigger. I'm going to make this one a little bit bigger. You want to kind of like organically place it so that it doesn't look like it's all the same. Okay, so that's for the eye. We can probably do some more arrangement with that later. We can position it better, but for now that will work. I'm going to save this file, and quickly those are both downloaded, so I'm just going to go to my shading right here and add those arms. So I'm going to click on this one. It says 3N, so it's basically asking where that thing is right now. Open image. They're going to be in the downloads, 3N right there. Okay, and of course this one is the color map. So I'm going to click open, and that should populate out. We just can't see it because it's on that side. I'm going to go to the 3N normal map as well. So this is that purplish color. So normal. Okay. All right. So go to the bark. This one is for the bark normal. Okay. Go back. Bark 002 that I downloaded just recently. Click open on that one. We start seeing it already right there. And right here, just kind of, because I moved computers, so that's what happened, and I forgot to transfer everything or save this as a whole because I just put it on Google Drive. Color for the bark, and that should do it. And I just put an RGB. Go watch that previous video if you want to see how those hands were kind of made. Okay. All right, and that should kind of do it for that. I'll go back here. Okay, and working on the eye, and now we need to work on the mouth. Okay, so I'm just going to copy the, let's say, the base right here. Okay, so I'm going to duplicate this, kind of same thing what we did before. There it is. Give this a different call right now. So I'm just going to do a drop down right there, call, and then it's independent, of course. I'm going to do an RX 90, RX, rotate it along the X 90 degrees, so it's kind of like that. And since this is for the button, I want it to be a little bit more, I'm going to go X-ray mode, sorry. Kind of a little bit more rounder and more kind of irregular in a way. So when I rotate it, it kind of looks a little different each time. Okay, so I'm gonna shrink that by a lot. Let's go to the top, see what it looks like. Okay, I'm liking that it's flat right there and it's kind of rounded here, so I can just keep rotating it. Okay, so I will now position this. This is the part of the mouth right here. So I'm gonna, that should be smaller than the eye. Okay, and then we're just gonna position it here. And we're gonna have to push this back depending on, you know, how it's positioned. So let's get close. Okay, I'm going to do duplicate and move it here, and this might kind of slow down because of the proximity of the camera to the object right here. So I'll go to my quickly to my solid mode and non-X-ray. You know, we can easily do it here. So I'm going to go rotate that a little bit, not too close. Okay, it might be too close to the nose. All right, maybe that would work. And then I'm just gonna kind of randomly rotate this thing so that like this two are looking the same, and make sure there's no collision going on. Okay, maybe move that a little bit right there. Okay, all right, closer. Kind of looks like it's got missing teeth. So okay, so let's say we're pretty happy with that, and then we'll take a look here. Of course, it's nowhere near where it's supposed to. So I can switch to my move tool right here, so you can definitely see the axis that I'm moving this into. So that's the y-axis right there. Kind of bringing those one at a time. And I'm doing this at an angle right here, so you can definitely make it a little bit more organic depending on how you want to move these things. Okay, and I'm not putting them at any particular distance, just kind of eyeball it. And we could do some more rotation at the top here so that they're not all kind of lined up like bullets and whatnot. So if we go to a rotation right here, you can go with a Z, which is blue right here. It's kind of rotate them a little bit so they go with the angle or against the angle. All right, that's the front right there. I can just kind of move that a bit. And then of course this one rotates the other way a little bit, just so that, you know, it doesn't looking the same. Go back to my file right there. Okay, that's probably going to be okay right there. We can make them wider. We can, definitely that eye is still kind of sticking up. Didn't see that. Okay, push that in there. So, a little bit out. All right, so maybe push this back a little bit so it doesn't look like he's got buck tooth, or you want to give him that, so up to you. All right, right there. I'm going to save this file again, and let's take a look. All right, there we go. So we got the hands, the arms, the eyes, and the teeth, and we just need to do the scarf right now. Okay, so let's take a look at how we can get started with that. So at this point, I'm going to save this as a different, I'm going to put a plus right here, so it's giving me an append name right there. Now I can start kind of consolidating this stuff, makes it easier for me to kind of group them later. Okay, so I'm going to do Command J, Control J to join all those objects. Okay, and they'll be represented by a single object here. Okay, let's see here. Yeah, let me do all those together now because they're just kind of. All right, we can do Control J just so that we can combine them and we don't have to worry about individual stuff. So same thing with the arms right here, minus the. Let me be careful with that. Okay, let's say I'm pretty happy with all the location here, so I'm just going to do Control J on this one. Call this one arms. Okay, this would be eye, mouth. Okay, that would be the carrot still. All right, then this is, let me see, to the top hat. Okay, good. This will be head, body. So we got pretty much named right here. Okay, so we're good. Yeah, so that makes it easier. All right, so now let's get going with the scarf right here. And the best way to do that is to add an object that's already looking very similar to the location of that one. So it's going to be a cylinder. We don't want all 32 of these. We probably just need 8 very faceted looking so we can control it better. Okay, there it is. And we're just going to scale this one as to scale it. And then we're just going to try and position that so that we can manipulate it after and it would look like, I'm just going for kind of like the height right there. Okay. And let's go to the side and bring it over like so. And that's going to be angled already. Okay. And make it a little bit bigger. We can always shrink it. I'm going to go to edit mode, go to face mode or polysurface mode, top and bottom. We're simply going to delete those. Okay. So faces, so it'll just be this hollow, and we can add solidify modifier, so on and so forth. Before we move on, let's apply the texture to this now, okay? And we will actually probably cut this right there, okay? Well, wherever the seam might be. But let's take a look first at our UV editing, okay? So let's take a look. Hit tab right here, okay? And press A to select everything, and it's looking pretty good. It's it knows its kind of orientation, but the size is getting stretched a little bit right there. We could use the entire thing. I mean, let's see first. Okay, so go to shading, add a new one, and then we're going to call this one. This is the scarf. Okay, and I downloaded a fabric for this already. So under downloads, let's see if I can find it here. Fabric. Okay, so we take a look here. The first one is the color. It's like a white fabric, so you can definitely change its look. We might not even use that. Well, okay, let's use it now. We can change the color, definitely. Base color right there. All right, it's waiting for it to kind of load. You can tell that it's fairly kind of stretched. Okay, and we're going to look at the orientation. Okay, I'm going to do a Shift A. We're going to add a color curve right here. Let's put it in there under C right here. Put 3 nodes if you want to, or just 1. You can definitely change the color later on. So let's say we want this red. We'll go more in the red channel. Okay. Subtract blue. So you can kind of change it up, or let's make it really easy on us right here. We want to just make it a plain color, so we're just going to go with a normal map. This will just simply give us the bump. All right, and Shift A, vector, normal map, color to color, normal to normal. And there you go. So it's kind of like exactly what we're after, and with here I can just change the color to let's say red. So we're following the red right there, and increase the roughness a little bit. This is fabric, so sheen for sure, and maybe just a little bit of subsurface right there because you want to make it a little translucent, but we'll do that after because it kills performance. Okay, so there's that. Then we can go to UV editing. And as you can see right here, the representation is only at that side right there. So we can repeat it, or you can just use, if you want, kind of just use that part right there. So it becomes a little bit more, the aspect ratio, it's a little bit more correct. Okay. And if you want to make it go the other way, you can do R90. And then your grain, or it'll be using this part. So it's totally up to you. This is a repeating pattern. It's supposed to work either way. So, okay, so there's that. Let's say we want, let's say we're happy with that for now. So I'm going to go back to modeling here. And definitely we're going to go to preview mode. And then let's hide all the other parts that we don't need right now. So the carrot we don't need to see. The eyes and the mouth we don't need to see. The top hat we don't need to see. The base we don't need to see. The arms we don't need to see. All right, so we can get better performance when we just have to deal with this two right here. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna save this right now with the appended name, and we can start working on this one. Okay, so what we can do first is to kind of design the point so it lands where it needs to land, right? So what we can do is, let me go back to solid mode, is to add a modifier to this. Oh, sorry, view tab right there. Add a modifier. We're gonna add a solidify. Okay, so it gives it some thickness right here, even thickness, or maybe not. Okay, so it goes in right there. Maybe that's way too thick. Let's go even thickness. All right, right there. And then we're going to apply another one, subdivision surface, so that it's smooth. We're going to go with this one for now, and then right click the shade smooth it. So let's take a look. Okay, right there, it's looking a little bit fabric-y, not yet, but it's getting there. Okay, let's go to the front. Okay, and I can now start kind of editing this. All right, so we can do a just a continuation of it. So I can actually select this might not did okay, well that might actually work, but let's take a look what it does with the UV editing. Yeah, so it's got all this funky stuff already that I need to address. So I'm trying to avoid that and do some extra work here. So what we'll do is we're just going to kind of split this and kind of separate it or kind of break it, okay? So if I, because we can, in a way, add that to the UV edit, so it's not crucial, okay? So what we want to do is kind of create two extra, like we're kind of moving this, we're making kind of like a fake knot, okay? So what I'll do is Control R right here, and then just simply move that in there. Okay. So Control R is a loop cut. So I'm going to do another one. Okay. So that's where I want to hide the other one. Okay. So what I'll do is press number 3 to go to face selection mode and delete that part right there. So we get a break. Okay. So we can do some things to this. Of course, I'm going to go to edge mode, okay, and let's just kind of extrude that part right there, and we'll fix the UV after, and we'll just simply turn on some snapping here. Okay, I'm going to turn on snap. We're going to go to solid mode, turn on snap, and we want to snap to faces right here. Okay, and we're going to do closest right here. And what we'll do is whenever I position this 2 points right here, let's go to X-ray mode, okay? It just snaps to the surface, okay? So when I go, so we're supposed to kind of just move this a little bit right here because like so. All right. And depending on the number of segments, of course. Okay, if we take a look here, I just moved those. You can see it's snapping to the surface right there. Okay, it's not really doing what it's supposed to do yet because we don't have any segments here. But watch this. If I do a Control R here, okay, just to add to that one. All right, so I added a cut right there. Oops, did I add a cut? Let me click undo. Yep. There you go. So I just moved to the center because it's snapping to the surface, okay? So right now, when I added that, so I get more of the curvature now, because if I go to number 1 right here and I just grab one of the points and press G, so you can see it just kind of moves on top. So if I select this other point, oops, there we go. Okay, and it just kind of snaps to the surface. Okay, and we're going to leave this one curving a little bit because we're not quite done yet with the model. We just want to kind of show this kind of going down there, and then this one kind of moving down here. Okay, and then this one moving over here. So we're kind of crossing it like so. Okay, and then we're going to extrude this one and extrude another one. Okay, I'm going to go back to point mode and simply press G to make them snap on the surface. Right there. It's not snapping the way we want it, but it's at least on the surface. So we just got to add some detail to this so that it'll actually move correctly. Okay, so this one we know for sure it needs to go back. So I'm going to turn up snap. Okay, and then just simply move this back like so. So it's stuck away under. Okay, and then we'll just pull that up when we're done modeling this side. Okay, so let's go back here and let's take a look at what we have in here. All right, so some stretching on this one. So let's take a look at the UV edit. All right, hit tab. All right. And of course the normal right here, and let's take a look where those things were actually spread a little bit. We just have to, I mean, we can do unwrap right here, and we'll just kind of follow this funky kind of trend, which actually might work on some and give it a little bit more kind of like it got stretch and whatnot, so it doesn't look like it's all looking creepy, you know, but we can easily fix that and kind of straighten this. Here's a little technique with scaling. Okay, so if I select all this edge right here, okay, I'll click all those edges right here, okay, and then I'll grab them, just put them here just so that you could see that I separated those. Okay, what we can do is we want straight line on this one, so that would be the x-axis. So if I do SX and then 1, sorry, XX0, not 1. Scale along the x at 0, and then there you go, they go straight. Okay, did I miss one? Let me right click to kind of cancel. All right, so this one I have to manually kind of lower this here because otherwise it'll scale it and it will look like it's all kind of flat. Okay, so here we go, and that's probably fine right there. So I can just select all those points. Okay, x-axis 0, straight. Okay, and we'll go right here. Let me turn on screencast here so we can, oh, I don't have it showing there, but S, X, axis 0. All right, and then we can just make this thing GX to kind of like so, and you can, if you want, totally your call at this point, you know, kind of arrange this if you want to, G, Y right there, kind of straighten it a bit, and it'll give you kind of what's happening over here, and distribute them equally to make it look like it's all evened out. Okay, so but again, we can fix this later on, and totally up to you, but for now that's probably going to be looking okay for now. Let me just fix one more thing right there. Okay, and of course the more this are bunch up, the more of that fabric you're going to see right there. Okay, and also select this and R90 and give us a different kind of orientation on the fabric. You can also do a rotation like this, so you get the fabric going on an uneven angle. It probably gives it more like that fabric look we're after. Okay, and of course it's not enough kind of detail in some of this, and we can definitely put a division between this, and then later on you can make it look like it's rounder, it's more fitting, okay? But you want the detail all at the end so you don't have to worry about this, okay? Having too much control over this one. So let me go back to modeling here, and screencast should be on. And we're almost kind of done here. I just need to move some of these points so that they're actually on the surface, okay? So I snap them, there's snap right there, but keep in mind our solidify is on the positive, so if I go negative right here, so it will actually move it outside right there. The only thing is this might actually be a lot more loose in here since we pushed this out, but that's fine. I can select all those and then kind of move them in manually, okay? So what we can do here is it's probably more work to do that, so I'll give it the positive one, so 0.17, okay? And I'll probably just move this ahead. It's easier that way, okay? And let me go here to our solid mode, and I'm just going to go push that a little bit so that it's out like so, okay? And then drag those and push those back a bit, just so that we see it like so. All right, that one also right there, just kind of push that out. That one also. This one, bring it back. This one right here, all right? And you remember those two that were kind of hiding before, just kind of move those out. And maybe this one needs to go up a little bit like so, so that that point and that point right there can be pushed up a little bit. Okay, I'm going to grab those and kind of move them here a little bit. And now this one, all right, so we just want that to kind of go on top. That's probably fine right there. There's a little bit of collision, but we can move this one a little bit away. Okay. All right, so now we want to kind of make this one a little bit more even with the pattern right there. All right, so I'm just going to add another Control R for this one, kind of move it closer to the end, this one as well. All right, right there, and then we can start working on this parts right here. So make it a little bit more organic looking. So I'm going to go like so, bring that over, and move it closer to the neck, move this up. So I'm just kind of tapering this. I'm kind of moving that one right there away. Okay, and those right there, kind of move it away so there's no collision on the neck. I'm just going to bring that over like so. And there's a gap right there, so bring that over. Same thing here. Let's take a look. Okay, it's not bad right there. All right. Let's take a look. All right, that's not bad. Now, since we need more control over, let's say, how plump it needs to be on this one, I can just do another Control R. Okay, so it made a cut all the way right there, but it didn't affect our UV mapping because it's laid on top, you know. So now I can go here and actually, let me undo that. Okay, I'm going to do Control R. And once I confirm with double click right there, here under softness, I can maybe manipulate this and it'll contract. Let's see, right there, maybe. Let's kind of give it a little bit of a bump right here. Well, here we have issues because we still got to kind of this is not UV map because it's only a surface, right? So I'm just gonna cheat right here and then kind of just, you can tuck those away if you want to, so they are not too, if it's not going to be shown. Maybe same thing here. Actually, it's not so bad, it's just kind of skewing. So just kind of tuck those in a little bit. All right, and I think it's not so bad. I can go right here and plump it up a little bit. The center line that we just added right here, kind of pull that out, maybe here as well. Angle it like so, and you can see you kind of drag those and made it curved some more on those sides. So let's see here. All right, so I think that's kind of good enough for now. Okay, and I'm gonna save it. I'm gonna expose all the other ones, unhide them. You can do Alt H as well, it'll just do everything, but since I demoed it here using the outliner, might as well just be consistent with that one. All right, so there's that. Let's go to our, let me turn off the camera here so we can see it better, not blocking it. Okay, so there's this curve, and then we have our arms. Okay, you can also do, if I go to the front, right here, I'm going to extract one of these. So I'm just going to go tab, okay, and go to surface, number 3, Control plus on the numpad to select all those. Then I'm going to do Shift D. So it's still part of that, so I make like buttons right here. So let me move it over here. Okay, I'm going to scale this one, rotate it a bit. Go to number 3, which is the side. Bring it over here, rotate it. Go to the front. Totally up to you if you want to do this. You know, you can make kind of like buttons for it. Number 3. Kind of rotate it so. And does it go all the way here? I don't know. We'll end our kind of demo here for that one. But let me rotate this so it's not the same looking button. Make it smaller. You can definitely kind of change it up. Okay. All right. So let's take a look. Right there. That's our final kind of look. Okay. And we're going to end the video right here.